Happy Sabbath,
Happy Sabbath.
Brother Hunter, and thank you so much for your time and for accommodating me. Well, let me start by asking you, how long have you been a Seventh-day Adventist?
Well, I've been a Seventh-day Adventist all my life. That's 51 years. Grew up in Jamaica. My parents were Adventists, so I grew up in an Adventist family. So I was an Adventist in Jamaica for 21 years, and I came to the United States where I continued.
Let me say something, Brother Hunter. Don't tell anybody else that you're 51. Because you certainly don't look that way. So I heard you say that you've been a Seventh-day Adventist all your life. Wow, that is so good. Now, you were born in Jamaica?
Yes, I was born in Jamaica.
And you've been living in the United States for a number of years?
Yes, since September of 1981.
Okay, it's been a while. Now, tell me, Brother Hunter, you're a member of Northeast Seventh-day Adventist Church?
Yes, I am.
Well, do you have any particular role or church office?
Currently, I do not serve as an officer, but I provide whatever support the church asks me to fill. And over the last 30 years, I've pretty much qualified in all areas. I've been a Pathfinder leader, health temperance leader, treasurer, deacon, elder. I mean, I've done just about everything. So I know the inner workings of the church offices. So right now I'm not holding an office, but whatever the church needs, if they ask me to do something, I'll comply.
Well, Brother Hunter, I must commend you for experiencing actually every department in our church, because I am told that you've been first elder, you've been just about everywhere in the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
The only thing I have not done is I've never been a deaconess.
A deaconess? That's very funny. Now, let me ask you, here in Northeast, I know that you have a health ministry, and I've also listened to your music. I don't know if that's a part of your, if you're actually involved in a music ministry, but I know that you're involved in a health ministry. Can you tell me something about your health ministry? How is it going? Are the members of Northeast excited about it? Tell me what's happening.
Okay, before I talk to you about the health ministries, I play the alto saxophone, and that came about because I'm not musically inclined from a voice standpoint. I sing in the congregation, but I don't sing well. And maybe 10 years ago, I made up my mind that I wanted to do something along the line of music. So the music that I loved most was saxophone. So I started teaching myself to play. So I taught myself to play the saxophone in 3 months. Unfortunately, I can't do it from here. I have to read sheet music to play. Okay. So I'm at a point now where I play, and all my saxophone songs that you listen to will be songs that are well known. Because one thing I learned quickly is if the saxophone is playing and you don't know the song, the congregation don't know the song, you don't enjoy it as much. But if you know the song that is playing, the enjoyment level, and you benefit more from it. So that's what I do. I look at popular hymns from the hymnal, stuff like that, get background music for them, and I practice to play. And then so along the line of music, that's where that happens. Now, from a health standpoint, this happened in 1987. I was at Ilker Seventh-day Adventist Church. This is the church that I first attended after coming to the United States. And I remember, I think it was Pastor Henry Wright was doing a spiritual gift seminar, and he said, every last individual have at least one spiritual gift. Some have more. And at that time I said, if the one gift that I want beyond anything else is the gift to help people to attain a better health. And from that point on, I started reading just about anything I could get on that dealt with natural health. All of Ellen White's book, Back to Eden, I was reading anywhere from 2 to 3 books every week. And I've continued that over the course of maybe about 25 years. So whenever they were having any form of health seminars, health courses, no matter what it took, I'd enroll, so it's an accumulated knowledge over time. So what has happened in the last maybe 5 years, I've come to the point where I'm sitting on all of this knowledge that I've benefited myself and my family, and I'm seeing people in the church that are going through things that they really don't need to be going through. So I started, talking to people about changing certain things, what I can do. And it has grown from there. When one individual is helped, they talk. So I have people calling me. And this is one reason I haven't changed my number. The number I have is a Pennsylvania number. But I haven't changed it. I've been in Maryland for almost 4 years. And I refuse to change it because what happens is all who have known me over the past 20 years, if I change my number, they're going to lose contact with me. So I have people call in, asking about various health issues, whether it's muscular issues, bone, internal organs, that I've been able to share basic principles of health that have made a difference. Get them off prescription medication and get them back on their feet. Because it's simple when you share something that can turn their life around. Otherwise, would have actually taken them to the grave.
May I interrupt you? I'm sorry, Brother Hunter. May I interrupt you here and ask you something? Did anything happen in your life, anything dramatic that is health-wise that could have precipitated this kind of interest?
Well, one of the main areas, 2 things that have motivated me. One, as a child, I saw my grandmother died at the age of 52, and she died from a stroke. And I look back, and she was very knowledgeable about, various things, herbs and stuff like that, but she never took it to the level that I am taking it to. And the thing that came across to me strongly is that we get to a certain point in our life, let's use the age of 50, where we have accumulated all this knowledge, and then we can't take advantage of it because we get sick, and it's a downhill process from that point on, and we die. So all of that knowledge, that experience, go to the grave with us. But if we maintain our health, if we're healthy and strong, up to the age of 70, 80, or even beyond that, we have the ability to transfer this wealth of knowledge and experience to those that are around us that can help to uplift them. And not only that, it can help to bring Christ in their lives, by sharing these things. So that's one thing that have motivated me. Now, from a personal health standpoint, this was in '85. I was a manager at Bethlehem Steel. Surprisingly, most of my degrees are accounting, business administration, computer science. That's what I did initially in college. So I was a business manager at Bethlehem Steel. They were the 2nd largest steel producer in the world. And I used to have some stomach issues where I feel clogged up. My head would be clogged up, and I'd go to my primary care physician, and what he used to do is says, okay, try this, and if it doesn't work, come back in a week. And I'd go back in a week, it doesn't, he'd say, try this. I said, wait a minute, these guys trying this, nothing is working. So I started looking at pharmaceutical stuff myself. The only thing that worked for me was Sudafed, non-drowsy Sudafed. By the way, it's not really non-drowsy because I'd be at my desk falling asleep all day, but it would keep me clear. And after a while, I got tired of that because you felt as if you were doped up all day just to function, from taking Sudafed. So I started looking into other areas. I knew something was wrong. Doctors were running all kind of tests and everything, and they were telling me I was okay. at the time, I was not a vegetarian. You know, coming from Jamaica, you know, the curried goat, the jerk chicken, the excluded fish, all that stuff. So, you know, I ate meat. So I decided to take my own health into my hands. So I started, you know, making adjustment. The first thing I did was cut out all red meat. And things didn't change much. Then I got rid of all dairy products, milk, cheese, butter, and lo and behold, the problem disappeared. So from that point on, I made it a duty to make sure I didn't go back to eating any form of meat. Now the hardest thing for me was chicken. Giving up red meat wasn't a big issue. Giving up dairy products was not a big issue. But chicken, I went for 6 months. At one point I went for an entire year not touching chicken, and then one day you just wake up with this strong, or almost as if you're getting withdrawal symptoms, just like when if you're a drug user and you try to stop using drugs. It was so powerful. And, you know, I started researching, how do I quit this thing? Because there got to be a way. And I found it in Spirit of Prophecy, where Ellen White says, if you really want to quit, you got to fast. And fast until you get the answer. So at that time, I went for, I think, 14 days on just water fasting. And finally, I felt that, you know, I was okay, and I broke the fast. And it's been 20-something years. I've never had meat. You know, so personally, I've learned some of those things that I can share with people. You know, fast is not just for spiritual benefit. You get physiological benefits from it. You know, that literally can. It's almost like going on nature's operating table. Things that you can see that is going on in the system, a fast, you know, will fix it.
Okay, Brother Hunter, could you also share from administering alternative approaches to healing? Can you share anything that really that stands out in your mind in terms of how it has benefited, say, a client or a family member or somebody, even from Northeast?
Okay, there are so many incidents. I'll just share a few. I had an elder way back in the 80s who he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. They gave him 6 months to live. And I motivated him, says, now that the doctors can't do anything more for you, why don't you try taking matters into your own hand, changing your diet and all that you're supposed to do. And he said, sure, I'll try. And the two primary natural remedies that he used was saw palmetto berry and grapeseed extract. And he's dead now, but he lived 15 years, healthy, a healthy 15 years, when they gave him 6 months to live. So that's one incident that stands out in my mind. Now from Northeast, without calling name, recently we had a member who had what is called bulging disc degeneration of the spinal column, where they're leaching away of calcium, so the bones get thin, and the disc that separates each vertebrae actually bulges. And when it bulges, it presses against the nerves, causing excruciating pain, especially in the sciatica nerve running down the legs. And she went to the doctors, and they were giving her various form of medication, and nothing was helping. She got to the point where they recommended doing surgery, and at the same time, they could not guarantee beyond a 50% chance that after doing surgery that it would correct the problem. So I called her up, told her I'd like to come see her. She said she's fine. I went over to see her, and you know, spoke to her about doing a few things that will help. So there are certain substances, maybe another time we can get to talk about it, DMSO, colloidal silver, comfrey. But to make a long story short, she's walking now without any pain. She's able to go back to work and everything as well.
And I can attest, because I had a situation, some muscle spasm.
Right.
And my son has also, they finished the intervention that you gave to the point where when I asked for it, it was nowhere around. So it has benefited my family. In summary, Brother Hunter, can you tell us, how do you link the health message with the overall message of Adventism, and how can we as Seventh Adventists, as 21st century Seventh Adventists, combine them to create this kind of healing, not just physically, mentally, psychologically, and overall total healing.
Yeah. Well, just about for everyone, where we can all start is simple remedies. Spirit of Prophecy talks about it. She says that we should study and learn simple remedies so that we can treat ourselves in our homes. We shouldn't be running to the doctors for everything. And secondly, from an evangelistic standpoint, what happens is that every individual share the same thing we share in common. They have pain, they have sicknesses, all of that stuff. So when you can't talk to them about religion or anything else, you can talk to them about health. And if you can win their confidence by sharing something that will take the pain away or make them healthier, then it leads you into talking to them about Christ, about coming to church, all of that stuff. And I forgot where it's specifically the scripture, but I can quote it because I have it in memory. God in His Bible says, He wishes above all things that we prosper and be of good health. So it should be our motivation to do whatever it takes from a natural standpoint to get to that point where we can prosper, we can be of good health, so we can do God's bidding.
Thank you very much, Brother Hunter. And I'm sure that we'll continue this kind of discussion and this kind of education and sensitization through you, and may God bless you in your health ministry.
Sure, thank you. And whenever you have questions or you need me to do Q&As, I'm available.
Thank you very much.